Hi, and welcome to Winter Session. I'm Tom Mihawk, and this is a welcome video for both courses, 697 PF, Personal Finance Introduction, also call that Module 1, and 697 QF, Cash Management, call that Module 2. This course was first started at Isenberg in 2013, 2014. We only had one offering, Personal Finance Introduction. Module 2 was added shortly thereafter, again, still in the winter session. And then the summer session was started and added modules 3 and 4. All four comprise a complete course in personal finance. In this series, you can get credits toward a minor. My understanding is that alums can take it at the reduced cost. I think it's half price, which is great. So you can be out of the Isenberg program, come back, and take the personal finance course if you want. I don't know if there's an opportunity for undergrads or undergraduates to be able to take it, but I'd love to have them if they're interested. My background, I'm an engineer by undergrad training. I'm good with numbers, but I found that I was much better at describing complicated things than I was at designing them. Went back to graduate business school, had school loans, was married just before grad school, had my son. My wife and I had our son just as I was graduating. And so I interviewed, and the best way to pay off school loans and do a very interesting job was to get a job in investment banking. I'd always interviewed well, fortunately, and interviewed and had a job to work in investment banking on Wall Street. Went there and worked in investment banking for 5 years, and then went to work in a portfolio company distributing insurance, investment management services, and investment products around the country. First through banks and then through other channels, ultimately running a business unit for an investment management firm. When I traveled all around the country every week, I was someplace different. And that was an interesting time. For the last 16 years, I've done private client advisory. Most of that time for high and ultra high net worth clients, maybe average net worth 20 million. But the last 7.5 or so, I've worked for a regional bank and done private client work for all net worth ranges, from young couples, young people, small, single life insurance, disability, long-term care, those kinds of things, to more sophisticated planning for business owners and professionals in all net worth ranges now. My goal for this course is to bring some energy, to have it be interesting, to push you out of your comfort zone, have it be intellectually challenging, have you have some fun, and create a community. One thing I mentioned in either the Blackboard or in the syllabus, I don't remember, was the possibility of having a few more Zoom video calls. We have a large group in this course, which I'm thrilled about. There were fewer in the summer. I don't know if that was because of COVID, although we had a lot, but fewer than usual. But we have a good group this time. And I want to make sure that we create a community, that I'm available. I won't be available like in a face-to-face course. You just can't do it. And I've tried to figure out ways to do it. For example, in the discussions, and there's no way to respond to everyone. The best way is to do it through, for example, an announcement. But I will be available. You can reach me by email. You'll find that. But in a larger group, we have to find ways to work around that. And Zoom videos are one. I've also broadened the participation component to include engagement, involvement, and truly the biggest part are the discussions. That's where the grading will be for participation. But I do want to give people the credit for showing up, contributing, putting in more effort in the discussions, getting involved with the material, and causing their classmates to have more excitement about the material too. In addition, one other key that I want to make sure you know about is it's also very important for me to create a course that's among the best you take at Isenberg. That's why I update it. That's why I introduce new things. I'm interested in your feedback at the end of the course. I take the feedback I get from students and introduce things that show up with some consistency so that it remains fresh and remains challenging and fun, as I said, and creates an engaging community. I coach sports when my kids are, I have 2 children, both are now grown now, and I coached sports for maybe 12, 14 years. girls and boys, soccer and lacrosse, competitive travel, and not so competitive intramural. Excuse me. And during that time, I had 3 undefeated teams. And anyone can have an undefeated team, pretty much, if they play all their best players all the time. I think I was able to, but if you do that, your parents and your players hate you. And so I think I was able to do that through diagnosing our weaknesses, improving on them, increasing our strengths, putting people in the right places, and motivating players. And that's what I want to bring to the classroom. Push you out of your comfort zone, diagnose what we're doing well, not necessarily always during the course, but after, and then bringing new ideas to the course. And motivating you so that you have interest in the material and a desire to learn more and dig deeper. Each course has quizzes, reading material, and discussions. Module 1 has 4 chapters, 4 discussions, and 4 quizzes. There, I think 30 minutes, 20 questions. Module 2 has 5 chapters, 5 quizzes, 5 discussions. Those are, I think, 15 questions. Those are 20 minutes or 25 minutes per quiz, short. Where it's a little bit different also, not only the numbers of students, but also the number of weeks. We have, I think, 7 weeks. And we have a holiday, 2 holidays, or 3, depending on how you count them. And so we have to figure out how to work around that. Work is going to be due, the first work will be due on the 19th, both for Module 1 and Module 2. Module 2 will have some work due on the 26th of December. And Module 1 will have its first project due on the 2nd of January, and the second chapter is due for Module 1 on the 2nd. The third chapter is due for Module 2 on the 2nd of January. The first project for Module 1, which is to optimize your resume, will be due on the 2nd of January, and I'm proposing to have a Zoom video to provide some ideas. I have an interesting introduction I'm going to show in the next slide, but I'm proposing to have a Zoom video on the 15th to the 16th of December to discuss how the techniques that I use from the book that is new for me, the techniques that I use and the steps that I go through to optimize a resume, and that could be helpful for you in terms of doing yours. That's our first project. One new thing in this, and another new thing, I guess I should say, in this semester is the availability of brand new slides. All my slides I used to use publisher slides. I used to talk over them. You know, that was the technology 5 or 6 years ago. Now all my slides have been updated. They're all my personal slides. For the quizzes, if you read the slides, watch, and I'm going to mention this in a second, I guess, the videos, and read the chapters, you will be fine. I think you'll find them easy, actually. If you read the chapters a few times in the text, the Kapor text, which is terrific, you'll be fine. Along with the slides are YouTube videos where you see me explaining the material, and it's available at YouTube, and I've linked to the YouTube slides right from Blackboard. So you can click on the hyperlink, it takes you right to the video, and you can watch them. They're short, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. There are 2 for each chapter, I think. It's a great way to learn. There's a reason that people like video and like YouTube learning. And so my goal is, these are new introductions, and my goal is to, again, enhance the course. The discussions are a little bit different this time. Well, they're different in one sense, in that I used to give the top score for 2 posts and also a next lower score for 2 posts. Now you have to do 3 posts to get the top score, 2 posts to get the next score. It's just too hard to tell who intends to earn the top score, who wants to put the effort in. So now it's 3 posts for the top score, and a post would usually have multiple paragraphs. They don't have to be long. They should be more than 1 or 2 sentences. But you can tell who wants to score the top score. These are people who are enthusiastic about the material, often post more than just 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. People who, and you can do it all in one day. That's fine. But you know, if you're doing it all in 10 minutes, at the very end due date, you can usually tell. So 3 posts for the top score, 2 posts next, 1 post for the score below that. The courses are both designed so that you can travel, you can work ahead, you can be in different time zones. I've had students from Dubai to Tokyo. Most, of course, are in the US and most are on the East Coast, but they're in Europe, they're in the West Coast, they're all over. And so it's designed so you can work ahead if you want. If you know you're going to travel, you can work a few chapters ahead. It's designed to be flexible and be accessible for the online MBA student. Okay, new for me this semester is my resume optimization book. Here's my manuscript, Optimize Your Resume, Proven Techniques for Competitive Situations. I used to just have a note. I always had an idea though, and it was always a goal of mine to write a book. It's finally ready. It's finally available in ebook form. It's been published at Amazon maybe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. Interestingly, based on sales, it's made #1 hot new releases. And if you find it in the lower left, if you find it, well, when you look for it at Amazon's website, you'll see a little red banner from time to time that indicates that it's a #1 or whatever number it is, hot seller. It made it as high as #8 in its category, which is job hunting resumes. It's drop back 10, 12. It depends on how many sales there are in a day, and it moves. Amazon does a very good job of building these excitements in and putting these banners in, and that's one reason why I chose to do it at Amazon. All of my ideas, I've done resumes before I started teaching, but I've taught for 10 years, by the way, I should mention. And I started another university, then I started at Villanova University, and I've taught, more than just, like some people are adjunct, right? And they teach at night and weekends like I do, and teach, one course a year, 2 courses maybe. I've taught over 60 courses. I had kids that, went to private colleges. My hair used to be brown. You can see the color it is now. And so I would ask when I first started, what other courses do you have? And fortunately for me, personal finance took off, both at UMass, which as I said, I started in 2013-14. Villanova, I started in 2011. And I started another university at 2010. I was teaching second-year MBA finance. So when I've done resume, I've always been good at interviewing myself. I had 4 offers leaving undergrad, 5 offers my business school summer. I interviewed, and in 2 weeks I had an offer to go work on Wall Street. No one in my family had worked there before me. And I took those ideas and worked on resumes. And my undergrad courses at Villanova, I now have what we call Resume Saturday or Resume Sunday. And for 5 or 6 hours, I'll see students every 20 minutes. And we get a lot done in 20 minutes, believe it or not. Boom, 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 boom. I'm willing to meet with students in these courses also, certainly those in Module 1 and Module 2 also. But Module 1, of course, has a project to do this. And as I mentioned, we have the Zoom video too. So I'm excited about what the book has done. I'm excited about you using it. The paperback will be available this coming week, which will be the week of the 7th of December. And I'm excited about that happening too. If you'd rather have the paperback I'm trying to have available in black and white and color. And black and white will be a little bit less expensive than color. That way we can have a price break for black and white. But color has color illustrations, and I think they'll be beautiful. So they'll be worth looking at. Okay, thanks for indulging me and listening to talk about the book. And I hope you find the book valuable and useful. The electronic version is not too expensive. It has all my best ideas, which I think are a lot. And I've been doing this, as I said, for 10 years. So I hope you find that useful. Okay, lastly, you can reach me, tommihawk.com. I have a website. I use it to talk about my personal finance education activities, be a landing page for people to go to. Sign up there if you like to get information from time to time. I'm available at YouTube. All my courses now that chapters 5 through 9 in Module 2 are available. All my chapters are available at YouTube on my YouTube channel. You can just search it under my name. You can find me at Resume Optimization at Instagram and Twitter. The best place to email me, tomjmihawk@gmail.com. I follow my UMass email, but I'm faster at this one. So if you need to get me quickly, use my Gmail address. I'm available in the winter for sessions 1 and 2, in the summer for sessions 3 and 4. New book, Optimize Your Resume. Proven techniques for competitive situations. You can find it at Amazon. Thank you very much for taking the course. I'm thrilled we have so many people interested in these topics, and thrilled you've taken it. Please be in touch. My goals, again, have this be one of the best courses you take at Isenberg. Update it regularly with ideas from you, which is why we have this flexible approach. It didn't used to be like that. Now it is. If you travel, if you're in different time zones, if you're having a vacation, you're going to be away for New Year's, you can work ahead. It's designed to create a community, to push you a little bit and be intellectually stimulating and have you learn a lot. And I hope you come back for sessions 3 and 4 too. Thank you very much. I'm Tom Mihawk. Thanks for taking the course. Please be in touch. And I look forward to talking or communicating with all of you. Take care.